Previous recreational scan complete. Inconsistencies were found conflicting with known data. No unexpected structural damage to footage. Arrogant observations found. Storing data for retrieval at the request of sub-strategist Harcourt. Arrogance displayed might yield relevant data. The psychological instability in subject could have precipitated the great surge that annihilated half the world's populace. Acquiring further data to support this theory. Research data found. Analyzing material through playback. Commencing. The winter months bring with them a pretty large dose of bad weather. This year we have forecast of snow and rain. On the other hand, it does produce what we regard as a rather pleasant Christmas and New Year. For those who prefer a more active pastimes, however, it can be a trifle of a downer. If you frequent high rocks in Mortimer Wells, for instance, it is indeed noteworthy. It's difficult to imagine, as one stands in these granite sandstone, that the highest rocks were the most remarkable structures were to be designed against the oncoming onslaught of the Roman invasion in 42 AD. Standing as a testament to the perseverance and fortitude of our early ancestors, the fort itself was probably designed and ruled over by Kentish King Caractacus of the Cultivini tribe, a reminder that throughout our history we have defended the country against all foreign designs of empire. However, in examining the basis of this tale, it could be considered prudent to look primarily at the invading forces of the time and their origins. Aulus Plateus was assigned by the then Emperor Claudius Caesar to be the instigator of this invasion. He was also given the title of Governor of Britain to accomplish this. Aulus Plateus was a relative of the Emperor Claudius, which consequently gave him high standing in Roman society. It would also have allowed the young upstart to acquire connections to important personages within the Senate. He helped in the suppression of a slave revolt in 24 AD with the help of a Marcus Aurelius Cler. This was very useful as it resulted in him being made a consul and acquiring a reputation for perseverance and bravery. Having spent many years as a sturdy and trustworthy member of the governing body of Rome, fighting for the rights of suppressed slaves, Aulus was made governor of Pannonia in 42 AD. Standing next to the Danube, in what would now be Eastern Europe, he held several thousand legions against the Gauls at that time. The army was composed of 4 legions, or expania. He had 20,000 auxiliary troops as well. All his success led the Emperor Claudius to see the potential in Aulus and hold him at the forefront of his mind for a major incursion of the Kingdom of Albion, or Britain. The great man made him governor of Britain in 43 AD as a consequence. In that year, Plateus faced a revolt from his troops as though aware of crossing to the unknown land of Britain. Aulus Plateus landed at Richborough, Kent, and faced the rage of King Caractacus and his brother Ptolemy. When they got to Maidstone in Kent, the following battle took place at the river Medway, and the king's brother was killed. The king then withdrew his army to the west on what are now high rocks. Here they met their end, when the 5th Legion followed a day later and defeated them. Aulus was a strong leader and highly regarded his opponents. Many have postulated that this was a weakness in the eyes of ancient Rome. It is said that it was a sign of the early sympathy he held for the slaves of his own land, though others regard it as an honourable understanding and respect for the people he vanquished. Whatever Platea's mindset, in August that year he persevered in his mission and moved further inland, facing the insurgents from the Iceni tribe of Camalodium, which is now Colchester. Elias was obstructed by what we now call red tape. The king there at the time made a pact with the Roman forces to allow him to continue his rule as long as it was under Roman law. This agreement held true until Elias received word that the Emperor Claudius had decided to disregard it. The Romans then attacked, and because of this, infamous Queen Boadicea responded with devastating force. Her savagery was also fired by the subsequent rape of her daughters. Elias was forced to call for reinforcements from Rome at this time, and none other than Emperor Claudius himself accompanied them. By AD 47, the suppression was complete, and the whole of the south of Britain was conquered and claimed as part of the Roman Empire. It was spring in 47 AD when the celebrated Aulus Plateus returned to Rome, and the great triumph or Avatio awaited him as he marched into the capital. The military might of the Roman Empire was secured. It can be said that the defeat of Britain and its subsequent occupation of our land was a tragedy of justice, an intrusion into wonderfully diverse and sacred culture. As much as this is true in some respects, the incursion brought with it as much that was otherwise beyond our understanding, and at the time trade flourished and political and social militaries introduced into the nation. This period informed and laid down the pattern that led to our world today. Christianity was introduced 300 years later under Emperor Constantine. All this might not have been possible had it not been for the early victories of Roman legions secured at the sandstone outcrops of high rocks. As our winter months prolong and we get closer, it's slightly comforting to know that within the very earth under our feet, history flows, holding some keys of the changing course of our nation. Internal system scan complete. No signs of abnormal mental excitement detected. Storing newly acquired data for retrieval. Subcategory Psychodynamic Examination. Entering standby mode to await reboot.
Terrible.